This news update is brought to you by
I'm happy. Now I'm gonna take my time. I'm happy. Enjoying myself with lime. I'm happy. Escape from reality. Yay! And let lime take care of me. We're just happy and smiling. Doing almost anything. Having fun and just living. Shopping, chilling, everything.
Get happy with Barbados' largest and fastest 4G network. Activate any Lime prepaid or postpaid mobile plan today.
This is the afternoon Barbados Day update for Monday, October 27, 2014. I'm Kmar Jordan. Thanks for joining us. Fresh trouble appears to be brewing at the Parkinson Memorial School. Principal Jeff Brooms and teachers are at it again, with the threat of industrial action now hanging over the institution. But Brooms, who's at odds with the teachers over the introduction of a computer program at the junior level of the school, is appealing for peace and warns that the children's interests must always come first.
I introduced it last year.
First forms or something like that?
First and second form. I was homesick at the beginning of the school year. I came to school 4 weeks late.
I remember that.
I came to school 4 weeks late. I had to come back to find all those that removed. I mean, computer basics removed.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no way that Jeff Brooms is going to be head of the school. We're the only time technology, computer-based subject is done for CXC.
Meantime, the National Union of Public Workers says the board of the Barbados Community College should step down. NUPW General Secretary Dennis Clark says the board isn't doing what needs to be done as far as cost-cutting goes. He tells Barbados Today that the BCC management has totally ignored the union's suggestions on the matter.
We can show where the money is going, and we can show them how savings could have been affected. But it's a pork barrel, so therefore they don't want any of this there to happen. I think the board should resign, quite frankly, because they are not doing the things that are required at this austerity period that we are going through. Right? It seems as though, I don't know who's taking off the cream off the top, but I'm sure that there are areas at BCC that the Ministry of Finance, I said so already, needs to investigate where it's going, but nobody seems not to be touching BCC and expect it to run like that.
Mr. Clark was speaking to Barbados Today last night after meeting with the college's part-time tutors at the NUPW headquarters. In other news, the opposition Barbados Labour Party declares that it's fed up with the level of domestic violence and the government's failure to bring promised legislation to tackle the problem. Spokesman Senator Wilfred Abrams says the current bill is outdated and proposed amendments are more than 2 years overdue. He says the opposition has drafted its own legislation and will be speaking and seeking the public's input on that matter very soon.
I took a decision that I'm not going to sit back and let another person die or be injured, where the appropriate legislation being passed could actually have assisted the person or staved off the eventuality. So we considered the legislations in Australia, parts of Canada, Trinidad, Jamaica, Belize, as one does in legislative drafting, and we put together what we believe to be a comprehensive piece of legislation. It's not meant to amend the existing domestic violence legislation, is meant to entirely replace it.
3 men, including one who allegedly robbed Bab's Mini Mart last week, are to appear in court today on a number of charges. 25-year-old Ramon Callender of number 3 Grisette's New Road, St. Michael, 33-year-old Dwayne Dial of 4th Avenue, Hearts Gap, Christchurch, and 30-year-old Ronan Humphrey of St. Matthias Road, Christchurch, are jointly charged with 2 counts of aggravated burglary, which occurred between April and October of this year. Callender also faces a 3rd count of aggravated burglary, 2 counts of wounding Stephen and Dwight Babb on October 20th at Bab's Mini Mart in Darrells Road, St. Michael, use of a firearm, illegal possession of a firearm, and unlawful possession of a quantity of ammunition. Meantime, political activist David Commichon is not at all happy with the government's decision to close all schools today due to inclement weather. In fact, Mr. Commichon describes the move as a severe disservice to the nation's youth. He says students all over the world routinely attend school in freezing rain and snow, and he wants to know what really is the message the government is sending to the youth in terms of dealing with inconvenience and challenge. Over the weekend, the island has been experiencing rainy weather conditions, and the acting senior meteorologist Claremont Williams says the adverse weather will continue for the next day or so.
At present, we are experiencing a bit of a break in the shower activity. The cloudiness is still pretty much with us, but we are experiencing a little bit of a break in the shower activity. And I say a break because we are still likely to see some showers knocking around as we go through the day and maybe into part of tomorrow. There is another tropical wave not far off, and that is also going to be adding to the instability as we go into tomorrow.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The Barbados Food and Wine and Rum Festival, November 20th to 23rd. Taste the culinary delights of top local and international chefs like Marcus Samuelson, Anne Burrell, Tyler Florence, Roger Mooking, Michael Hines, Dane Sadler, Daphne's Restaurant, and more. The Barbados Food and Wine and Rum Festival, 5th edition, November 20th to 23rd. Visit foodwinerum.com or contact Premier Event Services Inc. at 435-0670. Get your tickets now at Wine World or TicketPal.com.
Apologize now. That's the call from the president of the Caribbean Guyana Institute, Rickford Burke, to a Republican congressman who had earlier claimed that a medical doctor who is now hospitalized with Ebola in New York returned from Guyana with the disease. Darrell Issa, the chair of the House Oversight Committee, repeated the claim 3 times during a recent hearing on Ebola. But Burke says the statements have stigmatized Guyana and stirred up unnecessary fear among people traveling to and from Guyana. Further afield, a 5-year-old boy is being tested for Ebola in New York. The boy, who has fever, recently returned from West Africa with his family. At the same time, in New Jersey, a nurse who had been quarantined since Friday after returning to the state a month after visiting Sierra Leone is being released today. Casey Hickox had blasted the governor's office after she was quarantined, charging that her basic rights were violated. A release from the governor's office said the nurse will be transported via a private carrier. But that's been our afternoon update. We'll be back again this evening. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper or email updates, or better yet, like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals, or via Screenplay at a supermarket or gas station near you. Also, tune in to Lime TV, channel 101, for the very latest news and sports. I'm Kmar Jordan. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you again at 6 o'clock.
This news update is brought to you by...
I'm happy. Now I'm gonna take my time. I'm happy. Enjoying myself with lime. I'm happy. Escape from reality. Yay! And let lime take care of me. Whoa, whoa. We're just happy and smiling. Doing almost anything. Having fun and just living. Whoa, whoa. Shopping, chilling, everything. With my friends and enjoying. Feeling happy once again. When we having fun, you don't know I like it. You don't know how I like it. Feeling happy, all we as one. You don't know how I like it. You don't know.